Feel incredible!
It's not a cartoon, it's anime! Woo! Yes!
But go ahead and turn that headphone
Yo,
down.
Ice really went for that one, guys.
Had to make up for lost time. I've been cooped up.
When I tell you Ice just went for that, y'all, like I literally,
Oh my God.
my power up stopped because I was just looking over at Ice. I'm like, he really over here, like trying to get to 9,000.
That's right. You fucking right. I had to been quiet all these times. Y'all been calling me out. You seemed a little quiet there, right? Like, I wonder why you're so quiet. Well,
I remember why I took off my headphones just now.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to another episode of Animeshun. The squad is back in the fucking studio, y'all. You hear how sexy our voices sound?
It's a different quality.
It's a
for
different
sure.
quality.
definitely.
We're gonna be synced up now. Or like you ain't gonna be hearing like just Rob talking. I'm actually talking. It's gonna be like the audio. It's gonna be Zoom's trash. That's all I gotta say about that. But we are back. But before we get started, man, we want to do something a little special, real quick, man.
We got special.
We got a
or
little,
not so special.
We got a little gift for our boy Brennan. This is a late birthday gift.
Oh,
Late birthday gift.
Yeah, man.
Late birthday gift
For his whole ass.
Hey.
It took a while, but it's here.
It
This
came
is gonna
from
be really hard to open.
overseas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this in a.
It did take a while.
It's been a while.
I'm opening if you can't hear that. What is
Oh, the
this?
microphones are picking it up beautifully.
Yeah.
Ooh, it looks like a ninja scroll.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's see it.
Let's go.
Gonna need the unveiling.
Oh, there it is.
And this looks really cool already. I'm already into this. This is probably gonna go in my office. I can already feel it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Brennan's a hoe.
Wouldn't that be great?
And the scroll, we put it in Japanese.
It
with
should've-
Hey!
Hey.
It's the Tekadon banner. Look
Hey.
at that.
Got
That's
the
dope.
Tekadon banner.
Be great for the
Hell yeah.
office.
I love this.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
guys.
For sure. Now
Yeah.
you're like all like Tekadon
Tekadon.
out.
Yo,
You
the
got it.
jacket, like
that.
Ice. Like, I'm gonna keep it real, man. You kind of sort of changed my life with that jacket.
Yeah.
So, thank you for that. Like that jacket is fantastic.
Hell yeah,
And
that's
this is
something to
gonna be in my
compliment.
office.
For sure.
That's awesome. See, shit like that is why we're the greatest fucking anime podcast in the entire world.
See, now you take the headphones off. You still hear it because
Because you're right next,
Right next
to
to
us.
him.
It
He
makes
thought
it
he
so
solved the
worse.
problem.
I'm right here.
Man, what are we here to do, guys?
All right, man. You know what it is. This is Animation Podcast. We are back in the building, y'all. We do a review anime. We do our one-off. We talk our shit out here in these streets. And this week we are continuing my pick, Jujutsu Kaisen. I think I might have been saying this shit wrong. It's Jujutsu.
Jujutsu.
Yeah,
not,
I was
not
Jujutsu.
Jujutsu.
I was saying it's Jujutsu. I was spelling it that way the whole time.
There's
Shit.
no Jujutsu in here.
Jujutsu. This is episodes 13 through 16, right, guys?
yes.
13 through 16, and we're going to continue on from the other weeks, man. So go ahead, Rob, with Rob's recaps.
Here we go. So episode 13, as Yuji and Kento launch into an all-out blitz on Mahito, he changes his shape to counter and avoid their attacks. Recognizing Yuji's the true threat, though, Mahito just tosses a handful of those like deformed humans he's just like keeping in his mouth. He regurgitates them up, tosses at him. Know that, Yuji won't be able to get past him because to get past him, he'll have to break his rule about not killing. So with Yuji out of the way, Mahito's able to easily pin Kento down. But to his surprise, Yuji's actually able to rejoin the fight, having worked past that whole taboo but when one of them is literally begging you to kill them, probably a little bit easier to do. So they get back to the 2v1. The Jujutsu sorcerers are going absolutely hammers on Mahito's, and he realizes he's able to pull out some sort of ace from up his sleeve. He's done for. And that's just enough motivation for him to unveil his curse domain technique, trapping Kento inside, while Yuji is just desperately trying to break through the outer barrier. Kento knows inside the domain, as we've been told, Mahito's attacks are guaranteed to hit, and he's as good as dead. So he reflects on his decision to rejoin the Jujutsu sorcerers. We see his life as an office man, ignoring curses that he saw around him every day, just so he could have a normal life, make money and retire someday. Eventually, though, he realizes, his job only makes the rich richer, and while he's praised for it, those that perform actual jobs and goods and services, like his local sandwich shop girl who has a curse following her around, they're being paid poorly and being looked down on. So he decides to break from his cycle, help others, and he destroys the curse that's haunting that sandwich shop girl, and calls up Gojo and tells him, he wants back in. So back in the present, he's accepting his coming death. He's got no regrets from coming back. And just at that moment, Yuji breaks through the barrier since, they're made to keep people in, not keep people out. So because Yuji has entered the cursed domain, his soul and Sukuna's are touched by Mahito, and Sukuna makes good on his warning that Mahito had better not touch him again. And in an instant, he just ruptures Mahito's shoulder. He just starts bleeding uncontrollably. So sorcerers are looking around confused. Mahito tries one last desperate act, making himself huge, drawing Yuji's attention and attacks. And
that reminded me of Full Metal Alchemist when Envy was like,
Motherfucker,
yeah. It was like, you made yourself bigger? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Just a bigger target at that point. So he makes himself bigger, and then, Yuji goes into attack, but he just uses his main body to kind of slip through some sewer grates and escape. And they want to give chase, but Yuji's exhausted. He's been stabbed up. He's got holes in his hands, and he collapses. In the sewer, Mahito is happy. Even in defeat, he realizes Sukuna's the real deal. As long as this guy's standing at the end of the fight with the sorcerers, curses are going to reign supreme. Even if they don't make it, they'll be fine. Later at Jujutsu High, Yuji and Kento look over the dead bodies from the attack, and Yuji feels just incredibly guilty for killing those people that he had to get past. But Kento consoles him, says you shouldn't be responsible for feeling like you have to guide every person to their proper and honorable death. You were able to save some people today. There's going to be more people out there that need your help. That's what you should be focusing on. So at Junpei's school, we see, there's some silver lining. His clueless teachers finally confronts the bully about his behavior and even seems to recognize his own faults and leading to his demise. But it might be too late for Junpei, but, maybe they can make some sort of progress for future Junpeis. I don't know. Meanwhile, Yuji emerges from the morgue, reinvigorated, recommitted to the cause, vowing never to lose again. In the mountains, though, Geto, Mahito, Jogo, they all meet up, and as the two curses are healing from their fight, and they're like, all right, we're all on board with Geto's plan. We have to trap Gojo. There's just no way to stop them. And Geto's even thinks we have to go in there and get the remaining fingers from Jujutsu High so we can make sure that they're fed to Yuji, because currently the school leadership isn't all on board with using Yuji as a vessel, and they might withhold the fingers, or even worse, if we've seen, might kill Yuji. At the school, Kento and Gojo talk about, needing to cheer Yuji up after the fight with Mahito. And, he asked what was done with that Sukuna finger that was recovered from Junpei's house. And he's like, hey, I kept that a secret from Yuji. He actually gave it to the higher-ups just because he didn't want Gojo to do anything irresponsible with it. And they wonder if Yuji's ready to go back to work. But right on cue, Yuji enters, and he's very excited about rejoining his classmates at the inner high school competition. So he and Gojo, they plan this elaborate surprise plan to reveal that he's alive to his fellow students. The Tokyo students meet up, and Nobara's super disappointed to hear the tournament won't be held in Kyoto, and they explain the tournament's always held at the winning school's campus. And last year, the now missing Okatsu, the other second-year student, led Tokyo to a commanding victory, and that also explains why so many of the Kyoto students, including Toto, have an axe to grind with this dude. Just on cue, Kyoto students arrive, including some we haven't met. There's this robotic second year named Mekamaru, and a couple other third years, this witch girl with a broom named Nishimiya, and this guy named Noritoshi, who keeps his eyes closed, so he means business. And they size up their competition. And though Maya's talking a lot of shit about the first year's Noritoshi, he warns them, do not underestimate their opponents based on their years, and notes Megumi especially apparently has quite the reputation, as being even stronger than the leader of his clan. So their lead teacher, Iori, is also there. Clearly annoyed Gojo is late again. Gojo, does arrive with surprises for everybody, souvenirs for the Kyoto students, and Yuji for the Tokyo students. But when Yuji pops out the box, they don't get the cheers and the tears they were hoping for. And especially displeased is the Kyoto principal.
They said they was going to cure global warming.
Yeah.
By him coming back.
Not even close. But especially pissed is the Kyoto principal, Yoshinobu, who the guy that tried to have Yuji killed is just what is he doing here? So
I don't like that dude.
No.
Yeah. I don't.
Next, we hear the rules for the group events. Teams.
Side note: that old guy, the principal. Actually, there's another anime character he reminds me of. None of you have seen it, but there's the Grandmaster from Bleach. Is an old man who has who's one of the most powerful anime characters of all time.
Just visually, or do they have the same kind of in a sense of objective?
Visually, just visually, he just looks like him.
I was gonna say he reminds me of one of the 7 stars on Iron-Blooded Orphans. There's this old dude that's got just long, everything's curved. He kind of looks like that dude too.
He kind of, now that you say, he kind of looks like the chairman from Hunter x Hunter. He got a little chairman
But, yeah.
vibes
The chairman,
with
if the chairman was like older though.
Yeah,
The chairman
yeah,
was
yeah.
too spry. Too spry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they go into the rules for the group event. The teams are going to go into this protected area where there's going to be a second grade curse just running amok, along with a bunch of other weaker curses. First team to eliminate the second grade curse wins, but if nobody is able to do that before sundown, whoever exercises the most of the weaker demons, they win, or the weaker curses, they win. The only rule is essentially don't kill or maim the other team beyond repair, but attacking them totally an option. So 2 teams split up to strategize. Yuji's able to meet up with the rest of the students. They try to decide how to work him into their plan. Megumi is just like, hey, he should be fighting the Kyoto students like hand to hand, since I think he would beat any one of them in a straight up fight.
That was hard. That was hard to watch. Like, I feel like somebody was talking about me when they said that. He wasn't, but it's just like, it's dope that somebody ride for you like that in front of everybody. That was cool.
Yeah.
And they all were just like, okay, if he's saying that.
Yeah,
All right.
we know you ain't no hoe. So.
Yeah.
All right. On the Kyoto side, Yoshinobu tells his students their only priority is to kill Yuji. The only person not on board with that is Toto, who just wants to be done in time to watch his crush on live TV that night. And he makes it clear he will kill anybody that gets in his way.
I love it.
I got the vibe from him though that he also like he got mad when he said that. He's like, "This is stupid. Like, I don't want to kill this kid." Like,
He's honorable.
Yeah. And I mean, even that chick with the blue hair is just like, I don't want to do it, but I follow rules. Anyway, elsewhere at the school, Gojo warns Iori, he thinks there's a traitor amongst them working with the curses, and asks her to keep an eye out for, anything suspicious at Kyoto. She agrees, but is like, hey, how can you be sure it's not me? And he's like, you're too weak and you don't have the guts. So she throws her tea at him. Outside, Tokyo students are getting ready, and Megumi checks in with Yuji, hey man, are you all good? Yuji says, I've been through a lot since we've last seen each other, but more motivated than ever to win. And with that, group fight begins. So after an awkward speech from Iori, the kids charge in, and it's not long before Toto, punching through one of the lesser curses, charges in to attack the entire Tokyo class on his own. But they anticipated this, and Yuji stays behind to fight him while the rest split up into a couple groups to go find that second grade curse. Though Yuji's able to land some blows on Toto, momentum quickly swings the other way, and Toto is just pummeling Yuji into a tree, stomping his head bloody.
Man.
And he thinks like that, all right, well, that was that. He's ready to walk away, but Yuji's got a little bit more left in the tank. He stands back up, and Toto's intrigued and asks him what he asks all his opponents.
What kind of women you into?
Bro.
This moment right here is my favorite moment. I'm going to tell y'all right now. I'm just going to put it out there. This is my favorite moment of these 4 episodes when he was like, went into full nostalgia.
That
like,
was so funny.
Flashback of like, we actually are best friends now.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yo.
Because they have the same type of women. Yeah, he just completely envisions this like whole close friendship, like of them like reading comic books together, like supporting each other through like tough times with girls. It's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Unfortunately for Yuji, the rest of the Kyoto students are not on the same friendship page and jump in to kill him when Toto stops attacking. But he's able to dodge the attacks to their amazement. But it's actually Toto who steps in to save him. He uses his curse technique to have Yuji and Noritoshi switch places and tells them to stay out of it. And he's just like, I'll stay out of it as long as you promise to kill Yuji. And Toto's like, hey, that all depends on Yuji. I don't plan on holding back against my new best friend. So we'll see what he's up for. Elsewhere, Megumi spots Kyoto's scout, Nishimiya, in the sky and uses his cursed animals to knock her into a tree, where she gets cornered by Nobara and Panda. Noritoshi sends Mai and Mekamaru to go help her out, while he and Kasumi stay behind to fight Megumi and Maki, who have come back to protect Yuji. They all figure out that, this is another assassination attempt. They're all after Yuji. So while everybody fights, only Toge is left actually scouting out the second grade curse that they're trying to find. So back with Toto and Yuji. Third year's very impressed with Yuji's natural technique and fighting abilities, but becomes super upset when he realizes his cursed energy lags behind his attacks. And he's like, if you want to fix that, you want to stay my friend, which Yuji doesn't care about. But what he does, you gotta fix that. You have to fix that lag. But what does catch his attention, and when Toto says, not fixing that means you're going to stay weak. So that, of course, gets Yuji going. So Maki and Kasumi also face off, and Kasumi explains, she's not like the other Kyoto students, but she has to follow orders to make a good impression, so someone will promote her to a full professional sorcerer status because she's poor and she's got 2 brothers to support. Maki worries, Kasumi might be too nice a person to survive against the other sorcerers, and let alone the curses, but it's just like, but I'm still not going to hold back against you. So last episode starts off Toto explaining to his new best friend Yuji, his divergent fist technique is good enough to stop your average curses or your average sorcerer, but that's not strong enough to stop a special grade. So to be able to get to the next level and stop that lag, he has to stop seeing his body as separate parts and move the curse energy that he has to move curse energy through. And he has to treat his whole body as a whole, maintain that energy throughout. And it finally clicks for Eugene away. And as they clash again, it does seem like it is two friends pushing each other to the next level. Nobara tries to use trash talk to lure Nishimiya down from the tree, talking shit about Mai and how she's clearly not the better sister, but Mechamaru is able to draw Panda away by shooting him with some long-range sneak attacks. And
Panda.
Panda engages with him, and
Panda.
he tries to start out friendly. He's like, "Hey, we're not so different." Detecting, he's Mechamaru's really this mechanical puppet being controlled by a student named Koichi, who's bandaged and hooked up to a bunch of medical equipment in a tub somewhere out the arena. He's not in a good spot. Kokichi is offended by the comparison since it turns out Panda's actually just one of the principal's cursed stuffies known as a cursed corpse, and Kokichi is actually a person, so he turns out that he has this powerful ability to control objects from far away, but he himself is paralyzed from the waist down, is missing an arm, and is in constant pain all over his body, and he just hates that some stuffed animal gets to walk around in broad daylight completely free.
Yeah.
Can't blame the guy. He tries to blow Panda away with his ultimate attack. However, Panda has a trick up his sleeve as well. He didn't just get one curse core in him like most of the stuffed animals, but has three, and switching between them allows him to change his strength and abilities in a fight. So Mechamaru took out two of the cores with his attacks, but the remaining one is Panda's strongest, this gorilla core that turns him into this crazy gorilla panda bear. So now in that form, he's able to thrash Mechamaru and sends him flying through some trees, out of the woods, onto some nearby rooftops.
I got bras in Atlanta.
He just... Man, Kokichi realizes he can't take much more damage before Mechamaru is totally broken and decides, he's going to try to get one last strong blast aimed at Panda's final core, but he's got another trick too. He can move those cores around in his body, and when his attack misses, Panda grabs Mechamaru's face and just crushes it and rips off his arm. He's done. He's done.
Get him out of here.
So once the fight is finished, Panda tries to make peace again and explain, he thought he and Kokichi would get along since they're both so unique and unlike anybody else. And besides, they're on the same team. So in the end, Panda wants to help him just like anybody else. And he thinks about his isolation from the other students, wishing that, he could be closer to them and among them, and says, you wouldn't want to help me if you could see what I look like. Panda's like, he doesn't care. He thinks humans look
disgusting anyway.
gross.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a panda. I don't care. And with that, Mechamaru's knocked out of the group competition. And in a quick flash, we see that scene, the two girls facing off, Maki and Kasumi. They're clashing, and Kasumi blocks Maki's cursed staff with her own katana blade. And even though she's able to block it, she starts to worry, realizing Maki has incredible strength. And so we're going to see these two, I'm sure, facing off when we pick it back up next time.
I just want to point out real quick, I'm really happy with my pick from last week when I was just like, yo, whose power? Which I was like, the principal. And it's like, now the principal created that panda. Yeah. I'm like, yo, this principal is throwing real hands out here, not even presents. Oh yeah, that's my child panda.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing. You could literally be chilling at the crib playing video games, playing fucking Smash Brothers, while your little stuffed animals are just doing all the work for you, just smacking up people. You just sitting there. Let's create another one they can go out there and do. So thanks Rob for the read. I'm sitting next to Rob and I'm watching this. I'm reading I'm looking at his dissertation that he fucking has, and it's just
dissertation.
It's a lot of words, bro. But thank you, Rob, for the recap. It's a lot. Sure. I respect and I appreciate him taking the time with the recap. So this is the question portion of the show, man. Thank you, Rob. I'm gonna go off. This is off the top ropes. I'm gonna repeat this question that I asked a few weeks ago. Now that we got to see Panda go to work, man. Panda versus Kung Fu Panda out here in these streets.
Oh man.
Panda versus Kung Fu Panda. From what I've seen,
shit, man,
this is tough.
That's tough.
But dog,
them cores. I think them cores.
Yeah,
I think
he just had the X factor.
He has the levels, man, and
we haven't seen one of his cores.
I know. We don't even know.
There's another core we don't even know about.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. So that makes it even scarier.
Yeah, it's a fucking G
the gorilla is terrifying in itself.
Yeah.
And even in panda form, he's no joke.
Yeah,
exactly.
It would have to be straight hands, for it to be even. Because if he gets his cursed spirits into it, fuck. Yeah, I think he's washing them.
Kung Fu Panda's gonna get whipped around.
Yeah. I think Panda's watching Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I'm here.
At this point, I can't argue that.
All right, man. So we have a sneaky bastard among us in the Jujutsu Kaisen camp. So Gojo think this is a traitor among the camp, among the Jujutsu sorcerers. Who do you think it is? Is it a character that we haven't met yet, or somebody that we know? Rob.
Something tells me, just like my writer brain goes like to this. It's like anytime that they're trying to reveal somebody, it's usually somebody you've already met. So it could be, somebody that hasn't come around yet, but I have to feel for this to be a satisfying reveal, it has to have been somebody we've already met. And I'm looking at this and I'm genuinely stumped. I'm actually gonna go with what I went with on My Hero Academia. I think it's the principal. I think it could be the Tokyo School principal with the stuffed animals. He's we know the least about him. He would have known that Gojo was on his way to meet him and would have been able to tell the curses like, hey, he's going to be on the road, which is when he got attacked.
Yeah.
I think there's some questions here, and he would be a hell of an opponent, especially if Panda comes over with him.
Yeah. I was thinking the girl, but I felt like that was too easy. Like I forgot her name, but
the girl with the gun.
Yeah, no.
The Tokyo trainers kid, their
yeah,
teacher.
the other trainer. Yeah. I was thinking it was her, but then when he said there's a traitor among us, she's like, well, how you know I'm not the traitor? He's just like, man, you're too weak.
Yeah.
Disrespectful as hell. So I don't think it's her because I
Truth
wouldn't
is
think
truth.
she would even say that. Rob blew my brain with that. I forgot all about thinking about the principal. So. Yeah, that's my guess also, to be honest. I ain't got nothing more. Brennan?
I know I feel like this might be a stupid thing to say, but I feel like we've already met the traitor, and we just don't know what his role is as a Jujutsu sorcerer yet. Because if you think about the guy that's a human, obviously, who hangs out with those high-level curses, one of them isn't a curse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that person is probably one of the teachers that we just haven't been introduced to as a teacher yet.
He did say, I can't be spotted at the school.
That's who I think it is. You know what I'm saying? So we just don't know what his role is yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the reason I was like, hey, you guys might kill me right now because Brennan, it already got revealed somewhere. I'm like, I thought I was watching this.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's who my pick is that we just don't know how close this person is to everyone else.
Yeah.
So
Could be like a Spider-Man Homecoming situation where he opens the door and it's like, oh shit,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's my uncle.
Ice.
I think it's one of those I think it's a student. I think it's I think it's the blind guy with the
He's
shit.
like a sneaky bastard.
I feel like, and just all the data he just has on everybody, like he just knows shit. And it's like, how do you know all of that if you never even met this dude? So how do you know that he's cold like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. He just strikes me as just like a weird person, and he has like. He might be one of those people that's like, hey, I'm a student, but really it's like, no, I'm a teacher. I've been here for a while, and I'm just trying to finesse my ways to get information from the inside.
Okay.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Next question. Why
did you answer it?
Yeah, I pretty much
He went
back
after
over.
Rob.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because you said thinking about it now.
Yeah. Why do you think Gojo wants to feed Yuji all the fingers now when all the elders don't want to? Brennan?
Yeah, I mean, this feels like an obvious answer. I just wanted to talk about it. But I think my theory on it, though, is that because, they already presented that, like, he wants to do it, just feed him. If you give him the fingers, you know what's going to happen. He's going to feed them to him. And the reason I think it is because his overconfidence in himself. And I think he wants to fight that guy. I think he wants to fight my man at full strength because that's the only thing that's even made him pause. Like, I think he's a Goku-like character. Like there ever was a Goku archetype, like he's it. You know what I'm saying? Happy-go-lucky, more powerful than everybody else around him, wanting to fight the strongest people always, and, doesn't really ever really face a real challenge until he really does. So I think they really took the Goku archetype here. And that's the reason why he wants to feed him all the fingers. Not necessarily, like you would think, like what he would say if you asked him, he's like, well, I want to destroy all the fingers at one time. That's what he would say. Because remember, he showed already he can't destroy those fingers. So now I'm going to say, like, he's going to, if you ask him, like, why do we feed it to him? So that we have a vessel that we can destroy all the fingers at once, and I can do that. That's what he's going to say. But in reality, he wants to have that demon fully come realized so he can be like, yo, who really is the strongest?
You want to fight Sukuna himself?
Yeah, he wants to fight Sukuna and just be like, I'm the strongest thing on this planet. Just prove me wrong. Like, square up.
And he can show that to the elders, too. Like, I fucking killed Sukuna, fam. Like,
it's like, I'm now the elders. I am the elders. I am everything.
He can do that now, to be honest.
Yeah, the way he talks to the old elder do it anyway.
Oh, my God.
No
He just
respect.
looks, the way he gets in his face.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, if that old man had the power to hurt him, been done past it.
Yeah, Gojo does not respect his elders. That's his fact.
No.
Elders don't respect Gojo either.
No.
If you have somebody that powerful, you got to respect that man. Like
They respect him because they ain't throwing hands, so
well,
they respect
they
him
respect
enough.
his hands, but they don't respect his mind. Is my point.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He seems to be like the person who has his best finger on the pulse of curses and everything else, period, out of all of them. Because he's the one who's like, hey, I figured this out about all these things. He's the one figuring out there's a sorcerer that's probably like betraying them.
Yeah.
He's the one doing all the real work, where all the other elders are just sitting around saying, oh, these fingers, we have this guy we should just kill. Like,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah, no.
Rob?
I think it's definitely something selfish. I'm going to give Gojo the benefit of the doubt a little bit and say it's not for his own personal challenge, but it might still be related to the idea of like he wants, because he said Yuji is a big part of his plans to overthrow the elders. And it could just be like, well, I want to get this guy that I know is already strong even stronger so he can help me go at the elders, because I know I can already hang, but I don't know that I have the ability to do it all by myself. So he might be looking to get some more people on his side that can, you know, attack the elders with him and help him like supplant the corruption at the top. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he just, you know, if it's not that he just wants to destroy Sukuna's, destroy the fingers, it's that he wants Yuji to get stronger so he can help him realize his goals, which is getting to the top and getting rid of the old people. And he thinks the best way for him to do that is with Yuji to get more of those fingers. That's my guess.
Ice.
Yeah, right there with Rob. It's just like any coup. Nobody does a coup by themselves. Like you can be the strongest person ever. You're not going to do a coup by yourself. You need somebody there, because even if you can take everybody, you still need somebody that has the same ideals as you to build with, and two, you need somebody to cut the extra weight off. Like, hey, I can do this. I can lift fucking 10 boxes, but if I got y'all 4 here with me and we just take boxes a piece, it'll be much easier. Like he wants us to fight smarter and not harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing else to add. I mean, I kind of agree. I agree with Rob and Ice too. I see Brendan's point though. I can see that.
I can see
Brendan's point, to be honest.
Yeah.
So if that ends up being the case when this show is getting towards the end, I'm like, you know, I can see more like a Goku character too. But I'm leaning towards Rob's side. Next question. So, and you can't pick. And for this next question, you can't pick Gojo either because he's a side character.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And this is strictly towards high school. That's why I didn't That's why I didn't put like Dragon Ball Z or nothing like that. It's really towards high schools. Side character wise, who do you think will win on a 3-man team? I stated my hero, Yu, and Jujutsu Kaisen. If you have any other like high school team that you want to add, you can.
Fucking Kuroko, what the fuck?
Kuroko 3-on-3? Ain't nobody beating Kuroko, dog. In a game? You know what, man? The 3 characters I
I
would
hate
pick.
you for that. I hate you so much. At first, I was like, what is he talking about? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this was kind of hard because at first I had Yu Yu Hakusho. I was gonna pick Hiei, but I just don't. Nah, man. I think in Jujutsu Kaisen right now, the three people I would pick would be what's her name? Nabara. Nabara. I would have her. I would have Todo. I think it's Todo, right?
Yeah.
And Togi, the dude that speaks the language. If you have them 3 on the team, you have just Todo just pretty much go to work first. You have her hide out making the little dummies, and you have him speaking just to like kind of just take over people's bodies or whatever he can do. I don't see anybody stopping him. I just don't see if she's hiding out making the bodies and she's just doing pinpoints, and then now she can just kill everybody right through the chest with the pinpoint. I don't know My Hero Academia. Nobody's doing that. I don't. What?
No, I'm ready.
Are you ready for your point?
Yeah, I'm ready.
They just fuck what Keenan was talking about.
No, I'm finished. I want to finish.
I just don't see.
He said I don't see nobody fucking with him, so I'm like, okay.
I want to see your counter to the dude speaking and doing what he does, and then the girl being she can just be hiding the whole time. Now you don't even know she's even in the match, and she sees them. She builds those dolls,
But she can't build the dolls without a piece of them.
She got to grab.
She has
mean,
to have
all
a physical piece of them.
If she has old dude brainwash him, they can get a piece in a second.
But she only can take. He only can brainwash one person at a time.
Hey,
Or
man.
Toto can pull up on him and get a piece of him.
He's
and
strong
go
enough
back
to smack
it.
them all at least for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Pull
To
out some
grab
hair.
him.
Hey, bitch! Pull some hair out.
I have a good fight. I'm not saying my fight's better.
Okay.
You ready? You want to do it?
No,
Okay.
Rob.
I knew it.
Well, I mean,
Because I
Hey.
don't want you. Because I feel like you have a lot.
He's gonna pick the same one I did. I know he is. Why?
No, I mean,
Okay.
I built my 3 people teams that I would pick from the show, but from each show. But like, I don't know. I feel like this is a tough one. I feel like the Jujutsu Kaisen characters would beat most characters. I feel like they're very powerful, especially against the characters from these other shows. So, I mean, from Yu, my 3-person team was Hiei, Kurama, and Genkai. If we just got to pick side characters, for My Hero Academia, I went with Tamaki, Sun Eater, because I thought he kind of has like that that same power that what's his name, Mahito has, where he can like
Yeah.
kind of change his body up.
Yeah.
Tokoyami, because that's like a cursed power right there,
Right.
that he can have that like shadow demon come out.
Yeah.
And I went with Aizawa on the maybe he can lock people down. I don't know if cursed techniques can like do that, but I don't know. That was my hero picks. And then for Jujutsu, I mean, to try to keep it like, I don't know. I just went with. I didn't even go with students on this one. I just, because we were doing side characters. I went with Kento, because I mean, I just like Kento. He's probably my favorite character at this point. And I then went with the two curses, Mahito and Jogo, because I think they would give those other characters some big problems, especially Mahito.
That domain expansion would be sick.
Yeah, their domain expansions would be tough.
And I wasn't even going there with them. I wasn't even looking
Yeah,
at
I tried
curses
to
at
keep
all.
it at the student. As the
No,
students.
I
did,
you can't.
my
Yeah,
person.
I did too. But you can do whatever you want. But go ahead. I see you putting your characters down.
They have to be students, right?
No,
I don't
No,
think
no.
so.
I mean,
I think so.
I didn't say that, so that's not fair. 'Cause I
No,
know
I mean,
what Bob did.
I'm just gonna go with students anyway. First, like Lemillion. Like,
Yeah, no.
I was thinking,
holy
I was,
shit!
yeah, I was,
Like nobody
is he
can
a
fuck
side
with.
character though?
I mean, yeah,
Technically, yeah.
I guess technically,
and he's
yeah.
a student. He's a
Yeah,
side character and
yeah.
a student. Then the guy who speaks as well. We have.
I was trying to
there's a
figure
guy,
his name
Yeah,
out.
there's a guy on My Hero that has the exact same power as this guy.
Yeah.
he has the same
Yeah.
exact power.
I was even trying to think of him because like his whole thing is like he has to ask you a
I'll say-
question, right?
It's even more than that now. It's advanced because just so you guys know, My Hero Academia season 5 is out and it's
I
out.
didn't watch.
Oh,
I didn't watch
shit,
the latest
it is?
episode.
I've seen the most recent episodes, and
I
all I'll
haven't
say is
seen
he's one of the focuses of the season already.
Okay.
already.
And
'Cause
he
I
has-
watched the first two episodes, not the last one.
All I'll say is he's one of the focuses, and all I'm gonna say is that he's gonna match that man. So that's a net zero right there, easily.
Sure.
For what they're showing. So
He
then we have
hasn't been in the
Lemillion.
first episode.
Lemillion is untouchable, literally. We haven't seen anybody fuck with Lemillion outside of like literally sacrificing a child's life. No one's even come close to touching him. He took out the whole class by himself.
Literally touching him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
he'd be a problem for Mahito, you know?
he'd be a problem for
Yeah.
anyone,
Yeah.
like
It'd be a
anyone.
problem for Toto too.
And then Todoroki. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's frozen or burned to ashes immediately.
And that's because he's a side character too. Because I was thinking like Todoroki.
When I say
is a
main character,
dog.
I'm talking about like Deku's the main character.
Okay.
Right.
Goku's
Yeah.
the main character. Vegeta, you can like.
So
it's- yeah.
anybody else
Yeah,
outside? Okay.
yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
I was
so-
I was
But
looking at
I said, and I
Todoroki.
said
as-
besides Gojo on Jujutsu because it's just not.
He's just too much.
Just
No,
OP.
but that's my point. Is like I don't know if you take all three of those characters from My Hero Academia. I don't know of. Obviously, we know Yu Yu Hakusho ain't fucking with nobody on
No,
that
I
show
don't
is fucking
think
with
so.
him.
Right.
And I think that Jujutsu has a good fight here. But if I'm putting my money on it, like nobody's fucking with Lemillion. Like that's what it
Yeah.
comes down to. Like
Unless
we
you got
have-
Gojo in there, yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, he's literally, I don't even know how Gojo would fuck with him. To be honest, because Gojo's going to be like, all right, cool, you can't move. And he's like, all right, well, I can't move, but you can't touch me.
Okay.
Like, it would be a stalemate. You know what I'm saying? Because
Once you got him in the domain, though,
he could slip out of the domain because he can make himself completely
But that
intangible.
domain is your rules.
Yeah.
It's sure. Once you
I
get
don't know.
in
That's
that
the argument.
domain,
I don't
it's
know
a-
what would happen there. I think that depends on
they
whoever's
say
writing
you
it.
can't miss an attack if
Yeah.
you're in that person's
You
domain.
still hit me, but you don't. You hit what you think is me. Because I'm completely intangible. How do you hit something that's
I'm
intangible?
taking Gojo with that one.
Yeah, I think-
Okay, either way, we're not talking about Gojo. Gojo's separate anyway.
That's
He's
true.
a god.
That's a hypothetical.
My
That's,
point,
that's a good team. I mean, you put Bakugo in here, but
I didn't. I just think about Bakugo because Bakugo or Todoroki are interchangeable here. But I'd say if I had to fight one of them, I'd rather fight. I'd rather fight Bakugo than Todoroki simply because Bakugo is like, okay, you know what's coming, but Todoroki is just like he can do a lot of things that I think his
He can
powers.
mix it up.
That he can mix it up, and I also think his powers are still very young. Because if you look at
Absolutely.
what's his name, Aqualad, you know who that is?
Yeah.
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 It's
Do you
like-
know? Do you know what Aqualad's powers are?
Not as much, no.
Aqualad's powers are that all he can do is extremely heat and cool things at the same time, which is what makes hurricanes and tornadoes. So he'll get under the ocean or even in the air and just be like, bloop, put his hands up, one hot, one cold, and he'll create an entire weather system that fucks up everything around them. You know what I'm saying? He'll create a hurricane in front of him. So I'm like, if Todoroki is playing with hot and cold on that level at the same
Yeah.
time, it's
Good.
just like,
Yeah,
bro,
totally. He can
go
like
in. All right.
he can go in all the way. So for me, the X factor without question though is Lemillion. Because the guy with the spoken voice, we already canceled him out with the guy from My Hero anyway. So
Well, here's your issue, and then we're gonna go right to Ice because you took a lot of time. Lemillion doesn't have powers right now, so they lose. Ice, go ahead.
I mean that was because I was
true.
on the fence of like what was side characters, but my initial was Lemillion to Todoroki, and I wanted Eraserhead just because I fucking love Eraserhead.
He's so
Granny's,
dope. He's so dope.
yeah.
And
wait
if-
till y'all
if-
see season 5 already.
I
I'm
already
sorry.
seen it, but so what you're saying that other
Dude,
dude
have
hasn't,
you seen all the episodes?
he hasn't popped up in the first like with 2 or 3 episodes.
This one that
yet.
came out yesterday.
I didn't see that one yet.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You should watch that. You'll see
They
what I'm talking
yeah, I think if everything falls under like not just quirks but jutsus and all that other stuff falls underneath, and he can erase them shits, like they're being in a tough spot.
Yeah.
He still would have to fight Toto because that would be my other group is Toto, honestly, the way that everybody been hyping up Maki, and if I see her as a Rock Lee equivalent character, then I would have Maki on my team, and then I would have the Salmon guy on my team too. And I feel like
that's the spoken guy, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see what you're saying with this the guy from My Hero, because
Please call me as soon as you're done with that episode.
if he just has to ask a question as of right now, from what I've seen from before, he's not on the level of
Please
Toby.
call me.
He could even just be like, "What's your favorite rice ball ingredient?" And then he's in trouble because
Yeah, that would be over. No, but just like I said, call me when you finish the next episode, sir.
Will do.
Thank you.
All right. Next question. If you fought your closest relative right now, because these guys are best friends, Toto and I guess they are
best friends.
they're best friends. If you fought your closest relative, do you think you would win? Nice.
This question really isn't for me. It's more for y'all. I just wanted to hear y'all say it because my closest relative is my sister or my son. And, I'm not going to hit my sister for real. And my son is
This is mostly for me and
11.
Keenan.
Yeah.
This is mostly for me and Keenan then.
Rob, I mean,
I was gonna say, like, I did the 23andMe DNA thing. My closest relative is my mom, and I'm not hitting my mom, so my mom would win that fight. Like, that's what it is.
I mean, I'll go before you go because I want to hear your between you and Lonzo.
But Rob, do you think you can take your dad?
I mean, my dad's a 64-year-old man. No offense to my dad.
Rob has a black belt. Remember this. We
has a
gotta
black belt.
remember this.
No black belt, Rob. Can you
That
still
doesn't
take
exist.
it?
He's always had a black belt since he can remember.
If you use none of your black belt experience, you just got to square up.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. This is a very unpleasant line of thinking.
Moving on. Go ahead, Keenan.
I've been ingrained in violence, so this is not a hard question.
Yeah.
I closest relative of my brother. There's I don't know. I might have said this before. There's a boxing match. It might still be online. He might have privated it, but it was on YouTube. We boxed, had the gloves on, and I was mixing him until I threw my shoulder out. And then he dropped me over a table. But
He dropped you. Where was y'all boxing at?
in his living room. As of right now, I feel like I could win because I feel like I'm in just
Gained
better.
15 fucking pounds of pure muscles. If we can zoom in on this fucking man's pecs right now, that shit's out of control.
I just feel like my brother's not in the best of shape as he could be, but he also still might have older brother mentality over me. That's what he's always had over me. That shit really exists. When you have an older sibling, they can have a mentality to even if you're better than them, it's just like they can talk you out of some shit. So I guess we would technically just have to see when it happens. I gave myself the slight edge with this extra 15 pounds. I want to hear about Brennan. I want to hear Brennan and his twin because I just want to know. He said he has Brazilian.
I've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah.
And you did what, Krav Maga, but that shit don't count.
No, I did Bagua and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
Those are those two.
So Brennan, go ahead. You versus Lonzo, man.
Lonzo, he wins.
Are you saying this?
respect it.
What is Lonzo has a lot of zen about him, so he's scary too, kind of like how Rob.
I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight for either one of us. But if I had to put money on it at this exact moment, Alonzo wins.
How is he winning those?
yeah, you gotta give
I
him
have more
like-
weaknesses than he does. He's gonna go right for my knee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
okay.
he's gonna go right for my weaknesses. And my brother just finished Insanity, like the workout thing. Like I'm not in horrible shape. Like I can hold my own physically, but it's like my brother just finished. Like Keenan put on 15 pounds. My brother put on 40. You know what I'm saying? Like he is literally pure muscle right now.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm very strong for somebody my size. I know that. I'm athletic, but my brother's always been as strong as me. He's always been faster than me, and he's always been able to jump higher than me.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, I know I'm athletic. I've always been that, but my brother's always been a hyper athlete. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was on the basketball team. I was always the person that finished in the top 25%. He was always the person that finishes first in the sprints.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I could touch the rim. He could grab it.
Did he do athletics growing up?
Yeah, he ran, I think he just ran track. He was more of an artist. He didn't care.
Yeah.
He was like hyper athletic, and he was just like, Like,
He
I'd rather
was
paint.
fucking Yuji.
Yeah, he was, I'd rather go paint a picture than than outrun all of it.
I want to paint a picture of you guys running, but I'm not going to run.
He didn't have a competitive life. My brother doesn't like. He didn't outside of like Super Smash Brothers and other things that he and I have been born and bred to do together. Like like competitive wise, he doesn't really have a strong competitive spirit like me. So he didn't care about competing in sport. He doesn't care about sports still. Like you ask him anything about sports, he doesn't know anything. Like who's like you'd be like, all right, you know, Tony Parker was one of the greatest point guards of all time. Who was that?
Yeah,
you know,
he's not. And yeah, Brandon, I mean, Lonzo's just an overall better person than you. So
True.
Thank you.
It's just
He's fantastic.
no. If you get a chance, watch Tony Baker and Friends last
Yeah.
show, and it's just fun how when Lonzo's in the front row, bro, it's just a good ass time, man.
Yeah.
It's a good ass
That
time.
was crazy. But I don't know how they would watch it. But go on.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, if they ever put the clip out,
Yeah,
they clip out.
Yeah.
No, they didn't even put the full clip out.
That's
because
just
then-
Tony's part
That's
of
true.
it.
Yeah, because after that, Tony Baker roasted me.
Yeah.
Oh
Tony
my
roasted
god!
you, and then-
Tony Baker roasted me.
And then Grady roasted your brother too, which is funny too.
Yeah.
Yo, there's so much roasting.
Yeah.
Like, I was.
That was good.
All right, next question. So Toto gave you
He got roasted. Oh, Ice got roasted too. by
Ice
the
got
way.
roasted having his legs out.
Yeah.
That's what he always does
Let's
though.
got the legs out. You know what it is.
So Toto gave next question. Toto gave Yuji some advice that can change his perspective on how to use his energy. Has someone ever given you a tip or trick to change how you would work on something? Rob.
Yeah. So I remember, like, I used to do like some acting stuff. I used to do some theater, and like I was always pretty good with my lines. But sometimes when I had like a bigger role, like I was just like, how do you memorize all that? Because sometimes you got to get like a lot of lines in your head, and there's no like, it's not a take. Like you got to have that whole show like front to back. So, and I had somebody that gave me the tip. He was just like, just read the script before you go to bed. Like, don't even try to like memorize it. Don't like try to like think hard about it. Just literally read it right before you go to bed. And I'd do that, and I would wake up in the morning like, and I had it like that. I'd go.
What?
I'd sit in the shower, and I had every line that I was trying to
I
like
believe that.
memorize.
You
that.
just read
Whoa,
it
whoa,
one
whoa.
time through?
Time out.
Not saying like for like my first time reading it. Like
No.
we had rehearsed it.
Okay, wait a
okay.
second. Wait a goddamn minute.
I'm
Rob's
telling
not
you.
getting out of this bullshit.
No, it's for real.
Here's the thing. Rob is not telling y'all that he has one of the best memories and can retain information
Right.
quickly.
Right.
No, Rob does have borderline photographic memory. There's no
That's
question.
what you tell me, but
Right.
I mean, that's never been.
I don't think that everybody would be as successful. Like, you try to
Try
campaign
it.
on this
I'm
and
just
make
saying, try
money,
it out.
giving the secret out.
For months, probably almost for half a year to almost a year, Rob had his recap without having it written down.
And that's what we were saying before the show started. Patreon content.
Yeah.
We were talking to Rob, like, I was like, you didn't used to have your laptop.
I
And
can't
Cam was
believe
like,
I
no,
used to
he
do that.
never had his
Bro,
laptop. And he was
I'm
just
going to
like,
try it. I'm going to try it, Rob, because that's the tip that I actually been looking for. I'm going to try that tip.
Try it out.
I
hope
just-
it.
and I just
I
put it as-
genuinely hope it works, or else I'm gonna feel like an asshole. Because I was like, this is the thing. Like,
Yeah.
this is the secret. If only everybody knew. And I'm trying to share it with
That
everybody
shit,
now. So I
please.
hope it
Man.
works.
I just did I was up to 3 a.m. today getting ready for a self-tape that I had to do at 9. So it's like trying to memorize lines. And it wasn't even a whole lot, but it was enough to be like, fuck. Like,
I would just read through it just right before bed. Sometimes I'd even put the script under my pillow, like osmosis. I don't know. Words just get into my brain that way, and I would just wake up in the shower, like just say the words, and it was there.
We're about to see if it's just Rob's good information retaining or if it's
let's-
actually
let's bring
works.
this back,
Let's
please,
bring
Keenan.
this back.
Yeah.
All right, we'll check it.
Brendan.
All right. This might be slightly uncomfortable for you guys, but these are 2 pieces of knowledge that were given to me that are of like knowledge that I always, as a man, were really important to me. And just like in like sexual manness kind of thing. So I'm just gonna.
What is this one of the tips you told me?
It is. So the first one is like how to the best and most efficient way to manicure your manhood down there if you so need to. There's personal shavers are everywhere, like, but people still struggle with how to do that. Guy told me one time, when my brother's mentor, I just told him, was like, look, bro, all you have to do is a toilet, face the toilet, sit on the toilet facing the toilet, and then shave yourself. Everything falls right into the water. And I was like, what? And then I was like, yeah, right. I did it. I was like, there is literally no mess. This is the cleanest way I've ever had manicured myself. Changed everything I do. I was like,
That's
I do have to sweep afterwards.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
It just
true.
I feel
Or
that.
get stuff clogged.
it saves you so much time and energy. So that number 1. And number 2 is that this goes for more than sexual energy, but your breath controls your life. And so specifically in sexual things, like that's what I was telling Keenan before. A lot of men are like, I don't know how to last longer, I don't do whatever. The simplest thing you can do to last longer or come when you so choose to when you're having sex is to change the speed of your breath. If you slow down breathing while you're having sex and you're purposely breathing slowly or purposely breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, then you will last longer. Like that's just physically what your body will do.
Even if she throwing it back.
Even if she's throwing it back.
to the-
Throwing
put
them
it back.
yams back.
I got
What?
years of experience behind this.
Oh wait, okay. Wait a second. Now I'm gonna call your bullshit. All right.
I was gonna say we're gonna come back on
I'm
both
not
of
gonna
these.
say. I'm like, I don't even know if I can say it on here. There's been pictures that he sent me in the past. You think?
No, I have a thing where every time I see an extremely provocative picture on Instagram, I always forward it to Keenan immediately because Keenan's reactions are so funny because he's like always with his girl. He's like, oh, I didn't see this. It's so
you
funny.
think if that particular person that you sent me the most, if that person is going hammers,
Yes. No, the reason I'm not saying that you're not gonna be able to get there, but I'm saying that it gives you more tools. It gives you more
Where's
tools.
my camera at?
What about the inverse part? What do I have to do if I'm trying
Breathe
to come?
faster.
Like I'm just like
Breathe faster.
God damn.
Breathe
Like,
faster.
Let's get this over with.
Yeah.
Look, Cameron knows.
I will agree that it is majority mental, and I have I didn't read it yet, but I saw a book that was talking about like your breathing is your life. It can calm down your anxiety. You don't need to take no pills. You don't need to do none of that
Yeah.
bullshit. Your breathing is like everything.
Be conscious of your breath
Yeah.
in all moments, but specifically, I'm giving that piece of advice in a sexual nature is that
Tell you
if you are
something.
conscious and you breathe as slowly as you can,
So breathe
while you're having sex,
faster
and if you
if I
want to
wanna
come,
come, okay.
start breathing faster.
This does feel like one of those ads you see, like doctors
Yeah.
hate him. Like, you know, 3 tricks.
Bro, but you know how creepy she was like, why are you breathing so fast? You okay?
If you're doing your thing right, they're not going to notice.
That's true. Let me tell you something. This person that
Ah,
what did he say?
he's coming for you.
I didn't hear
Oh,
you say.
Cameron's coming. You see, he's
I
like,
didn't hear you say. What did he say?
she'll notice for Keenan. Oh yeah, I know Keenan's gonna be full full zen.
Motherfuckers just think I'm anime. I'm a cartoon character in a bedroom. Like, yeah.
Bro, have you seen your stand up?
Yes, I
yes,
have.
you do seem like a cartoon character in the bedroom.
Well, like I said, I don't necessarily know if I believe Brennan with this particular person that he sent me because that is a wild.
But I told you that advice before.
You have absolutely have.
And
and he's held out.
hold on, no, tell the truth. Does it help?
I haven't done it as often as I should have.
But when you did do it, did you notice a difference?
Oh, it was a difference for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it truly does
different,
help.
sure.
Like I'm giving y'all like this is just no ego attached to it. This
No.
has truly helped me in my.
Even when you said I didn't take ego attached because I
I'm gonna try it.
Making a note.
Right.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, I read this breathing does control a lot of things, and I know sex has a lot to do with your mental.
No,
All right?
the mental.
Go ahead.
One last thing on that is that I fully agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
But these are two different subject matters that we're talking.
True,
the
yeah.
breathing is a physiological thing, so that is a full
Absolutely,
physical
yes.
thing.
Yes.
It does affect your mental, but mentally, the sexual thing is a whole different conversation. That's
Right.
all.
Ice. That's hard to top. Ice. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't want to top it. I think when I gave you guys your presents a couple weeks ago, I just talked about the impact that all three of y'all had. So I just take this time to kind of elaborate on that because these tips are what I got from y'all. I guess starting with Rob. Rob really helped me with script writing. I had a lot of stuff in my script, and he was like, "Bro, get this bullshit out of here." Just let the camera do the talking. So I think that was the point that he made. Is just like you don't have a character just say, "I'm so mad." You just fucking have the camera at his face and he's looking mad. You just saved half a page right there. So like stuff like that, points like that he gave me really changed script writing for me. Keenan, I remember just one time I was just frustrated with stuff and I was just going on the Kanye West level rant on the phone with him, just about all the shit that I've done, all the work that I put in, and he was just like, "So, like, what does that fucking mean? Like, and work harder." Like, and then just something simple as that, like, yeah, you posting stuff every day, but people are, I was like, I post fucking 2 videos a day. I'm putting this. Like, I was going in. He was like, "Who gives a fuck?" He was like, "Post 3 to 5," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, you're right." Like,
People post fucking like for 5 years straight.
That,
You
Kanye,
haven't
that
went-
Kanye Kobe commercial is so hard in my head right
Oh, yeah.
now.
yeah.
Work harder.
Work harder. Yeah, that's
harder.
And that's basically what it was, because I was like, because up
I'm
until
the
that
best.
conversation, like I was having that same type of talk, but it was people that was kind of outside of it, and they was just like egging me on, like, "Yeah, you've been working so hard, you've been posting videos for," and then just to say that shit to Keenan, and he's like, "Bro, who gives a fuck? Like, just keep going, like keep going. You gonna stop?" I'm like, "No." All right, cool. So shut the fuck up. What we talking about, bro? And granted, he did kind of say it that straightforward, but still, like, that changed kind of my perspective. Like, who cares? Like, just keep working. And then for Brennan, I think it's just like he really gave me the business mindset around stuff. Like, I run a business, but that business is with like actual product. So like, Brennan was able to teach me the business part behind stuff that's like not a product, like of yourself as the product and making stuff. It's like, hey, you have this great idea and it looks good, but this shit is going to cost a lot of money. And who is going to pay for this shit? And just like giving me that level of knowledge of like, now when I make stuff and create things, I'm creating it just not like with this blank check. I'm creating stuff with like, hey, this is going to, if I need to, I can work my way up to this, but at some point I need to make something smaller so I can, that's less of a budget so I can work my way to the bigger project. So I think him giving me that financial mindset when I'm creating has, helped me as well. So,
I allowed the raid 1 and
You're
2.
welcome.
The first raid, he had a bigger plan, but then they said, "Hey, bro, it's your budget."
Right.
He had to do the raid 1.
True. Yeah.
So next question. So this is funny to me was when they had that little flashback scene with they talking about like with the girls and stuff like that, Toto and
boy.
This show is funny, man.
It's funny, man.
I really like this show.
And it was like, there's a part in there where like he goes to like confess his love to the girl, and then she kind of rejects him. Then he kind of like, he's sad or whatever. Have you ever like confessed your love or like put your all like, yo, I'm feeling you, and she's kind of just like she's not feeling you back? Have you ever confessed your love or whatever on that sense and got rejected? Yes. A few times, dog.
Yeah, man.
I feel like at every level, actually. At every level. I would go elementary, middle school, high school, college, and life. Just after that.
Adult life.
Yeah, absolutely,
What's
man.
been the worst one?
Oh. High school. Me and this girl ended up like kind of dating for a second when I got older. But in high school, I was like in love with this particular girl. Like she looked like a mix between Lauryn Hill and Naomi Campbell. And I was like, this is the girl for me. And I was just, man, I would show up, I would go where her crew was sometimes, volleyball games. And I don't know, I think she might have either had a dude or maybe she was feeling me, but she was just like, yo, like, no, like, yeah, like just you're a good buddy of mine. Like
Damn.
tap on the shoulder type thing.
That tap on the shoulder did it.
And what made it worse, she's like my height, so the tap on the shoulder was like an even tap on the shoulder, not like a up. It was just like, yeah, little buddy. Yeah.
Good
so
game.
That's tough.
it burns, but like now, I mean, being in a relationship or not, like for me personally, don't let it affect you. It's not going to kill you. At the end of the day, that person's not meant for you. That's how you got to look at it. Rob.
Oh, definitely. Just like you said, like on every level. I've actually been on both sides of this because even when I was like, I was moving out of town when I came to LA, like I did have a couple people come forward.
Shout out to Q.
And there were just some
couple
hugs
people
and
come
just
forward like
nobody
it's an
heard me?
allegation.
What'd you say?
Shout out to Q.
Oh yeah, shout out. Oh shit,
Bro.
Shout out to
Hey,
come on.
Bro, I'm not doing that.
Hey,
you
got you on your own.
I'm
Hey.
here for. I choose violence today.
You're on your own,
She
brother.
gonna pull up from Texas and whoop your ass.
Violence.
You know she's gonna
If
hear
she's
that.
gonna listen to this, she's gonna sock
You
you
know
out.
she
Yo,
gonna
yo.
listen.
She's
No,
gonna
but-
sock you out, bro.
I can't believe this.
But no, I've definitely been on both sides. Both sides sucks. Both sides sucks. Yep.
So you got.
You don't have no
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
He
I
said
understand
a
that.
lot of people came forward like it's a fucking
Not a lot.
allegation
A
or
few.
something.
Yeah.
No, just the way you said it. People came forward.
People came
Like,
forward. People felt it was the time to like, hey, it's now or never.
Yeah.
And it turned out it was never. Like,
Yeah,
Shit,
I've
bro.
been on both ends before too, and it is awkward. So that's why I
Rob.
can feel the other way.
Now or never, but it was never.
Don't try to cover your bullshit up, Brittany. What you said earlier, that was fucked up,
That's
bro.
fucked up. Yeah. I mean, I have a whole
I said what I said.
IG TV series about this. It's called Rejected, and it's just stories about times that I got rejected. So I would just pick one of those stories.
Gunshots.
No, that none of those rejected stories had nothing to do with that. He really likes that story.
I said all your stories have gunshots.
This is true. The one in particular, I feel like I've told this before on here as well, but if I didn't, whatever. I was in like second grade, and it was this girl, Moniece Marble, and I fucking was like crazy about her.
Putting the
And-
government out there.
Yeah, she was. She's beautiful. Go check. I hope she still is. Maybe I don't know. Whatever.
She got IG?
Yeah. I was head over heels for her in second and third grade, and like she would always be cordial with me, but like it was just a week of time, like that she was just so good to me, and she was super nice, and she spoke to me and everything, and I'm like, what the fuck, like Moniece wants me, like, so I went up to her and I was like, hey, what's up, like, you've been like, what's up, and then she was like, no, like, what the fuck, no, and she was like, get the fuck out of my face. I'm like, but you've been so nice to me this past week, like, what happened? She was like, one day you left school early, and somebody said you left school because you went to the psychiatrist. She's like, so I was being nice to you because if you shot the school up,
Wow.
I wouldn't want you to shoot me.
Yeah.
well, now
I've
you're
heard this.
gonna. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, and she's like, if you did anything crazy at school, I knew if I was nice to you, you wouldn't do this to me. And I'm like, well, like to your point, if I was that kid, now you just
top
put
of
the
the
bomb
list.
off. Like
Oh,
Have you
Jesus.
shot your jumper in recent times?
to her.
Yeah.
No, she's been cool though. Like
Or you still in contact with her?
No,
or-
not really. I haven't talked to her in like maybe 10 years. But I've seen, like, when I was in St. Louis post college, I've seen her. No, not post college. I was in college, and we just saw somebody, and she was really hyped to see me, and I was hyped to see her. But it was just kind of like, whatever.
Brendan.
So many times.
Yeah.
Can I get a hug?
On every level.
Where's my hug?
Where's my hug? Where's my hug?
Where's my hug?
Two. You gotta put the TOO after that too.
Where's my hug?
Where's my hug too? I mean, for me, it was like particularly painful because I have a twin brother, and typically, what would happen for me, which is like really bad, is that like I would go for somebody and they'd be like, "How about your friend?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, you mean my twin brother? There's no way you guys are twins." So the jokes
You guys are not. What is it called? Fraternal.
We're fraternal. Yeah, we're fraternal.
Okay.
So if you guys don't know, I have a twin brother who is fairer skinned than I am, taller than I am.
Would beat you in a fight.
And would beat me in a fight.
We can fight.
That dress is 10 times better than you do.
He
Yes.
dresses 10 times better than any of us.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm not gonna argue that,
I'm not gonna argue that. At all.
Come on, man.
I
bro.
don't.
Bro.
I don't know 10 times.
Cameron?
Alonzo has style, bro.
Can ISIS get style touch Alonzo's?
I'm a dog out here, man.
Bro,
I don't
Alonzo
know.
Cameron
has
agrees.
fashion.
I think
it's a high fashion.
It's
style.
different though. It's
Look.
different. If I were to get in my bag, it's different. It's
But
different.
Alonzo never leaves the bag is the problem.
That's
That's what I'm
different.
saying.
Exactly.
that don't mean he's
Like,
better.
every time you see Alonzo, it's an impression. Like,
I've
you will
never-
not. You won't forget it. Like every
I've-
time you see him, you're just like, "What are you? Is that an Ethiopian hat with a literal armadillo on your back? And does it match? You know what I'm saying?
It's-
Like,
I feel like it's
do you have
different.
a full head tattoo that is sacred geometry? Like, yeah, like my brother is like you see him,
Yeah.
nobody will ever be like, I wonder if he's an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But I think it's
he's
a
a-
different. I think he dresses his ass off.
he's a literal anime character in real life. Every day he walks around.
Just because I wear shorts don't mean I don't have a bag. I do this like I'm as advertised.
Look, I'm not trying to say you don't have drip. All I'm saying is I've never met anybody whose drip is matching my brother's.
I've probably only met a handful of people that's on the level of your brothers. Maybe a person that's
like
right above.
Tahir's. I think Tahir's up there as well.
Tahir's as well too. He does.
Yeah, there's like
Y'all
some,
under man. All right.
well, I'm just saying.
All right. Hey, all right.
We're not
That's all I'm gonna say.
we're not underestimating.
I went out with Ice one time, and I would say it was good,
Okay.
but it's not what that dress up was not even close to the level I've
But that
seen.
we talking about
No, but listen, hold on.
the Christmas
We're
party.
just talking about
no.
consistent. We're talking about consistency here. And the thing is, though, is like Ice. We know what you look like normally. You know what I'm saying? We see you all the time. We've seen you many times. All I'm saying is like every single time, no matter where you see my brother,
But
or
that's-
where you see
That's
Tahir.
on purpose. I wear shorts. I could come.
Every time I've seen Alonzo, it's kind of pause. Oh, what's he wearing? Okay.
Yes.
You have to stop and take in
Every
whatever.
time.
Every time you see him, you have to stop and take in what he's doing. But
I
look,
get it.
that's besides the point. Is in that same vein, my brother's always been like that, and he also has always been an exceptional artist when it comes to his vocal ability and his ability to physically create things like paintings, drawings. He's won multiple awards, all these other kind of things. He's the kind of brother who walks in the room everybody knows. And so that was my twin brother. And if you don't know this, twins are always compared.
Right.
You know, until they're not. And for me, I was always like, let me holler at you, lady. And they'd be like, let me holler at your friend. I'm like, my twin brother. Then they wouldn't believe me. Talk about self-esteem destroyer. You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty bad. So that for me was the worst kind of thing because it wasn't like one story. That was like my entire middle school experience. And so like when people talk about it now, like, oh yeah, your brother's better than you. I'm just like, it doesn't hurt anymore. But at one point in my life, this was
middle
like
school. That's the worst.
this was like the biggest thing you could have said to me to like completely break me and shut me down.
That has to hurt when it's your twin brother. Somebody goes, let me. Y'all can't look. Y'all don't look.
y'all
No
not even close.
way.
Ain't no way you're related to that.
That's not right.
I was an opposite end. I always look better than my older brother, and they always be like, "Y'all brothers?" I'm like, "Yeah." You know.
Check out my eyes. Check out these eyes. What's up, girl?
Check out the haze. All right, next question.
He's gonna say Hazel because his eyes are Hazel. Just so you know.
I'm not that guy.
You literally said half the
Have
word.
you ever had a time you met someone instantly and knew you were going to be close / best friends? Brennan.
Tony Valentino did this. Tony Valentino is my business partner. He's the one who I started Transit Pictures with. And his creepy ass did that to me one of the first times we met. Is like we were traveling around the country, and I don't know if you know this story or not, Rob.
I might.
He truly creeped me out. Like I was like I was so uncomfortable. Like we were on a production crew of 6. they would rent 2 minivans. One minivan was like the cargo van, so only 2 people could be in that one. The other one was like the people van, only 4 people could be in it with all the gear in the cargo van, all the personal stuff in the people van, right? And so 2 people have to be in that equipment van. One of them has to be the assistant camera operator. That was Tony. And the other person could be anybody. But me and Tony were like, oh, we're cool, so I would always ride with him. And it's like literally like the second time we ride, we're just like talking or whatever. And he just like, we were like at a stoplight or some shit. And he just looked over at me, but his big stupid shit-eating grin was like, you know what? Took out his phone and took the only selfie I've ever seen him take in my entire life of me and Tony. He looked at me, he showed me the picture, and he pointed at it and said, "Best friends forever, scrapbook page 1." And then put his phone back in his pocket and was just like happily driving. And I'm just over here like, what the fuck is this white dude? Like, I'm like, what is going on right now? I was so confused and uncomfortable. And I even said, I was like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, I don't even know you like that. He's like, oh, you'll get it. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. It's all right. It's cool. It's good. It's all right.
You know what's funny? That energy with Tony and Brennan now is not there. Like they're probably best friends, but you never see Tony be like, Brennan, man, hey, man, yeah. Oh, fucking Brennan.
Wait, hold on. Point your mic towards Cameron, please, for a second.
Does that selfie still exist?
That's a good question for Tony. I don't know. I never asked for it because it creeped me out. So like,
yeah.
But yeah, but
Where's
that
the
definitely happened.
scrapbook?
Tony don't follow through on shit. What are you talking about?
It's
Like,
gonna be page 1
I'm
and
the one
then
who took
blank page after blank page.
I took all the rest of the pictures. Let's put it that way.
That's hilarious. Ice,
That's funny.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Going on. Moving on.
Rob.
I mean,
I love that answer.
first, like, did I ever meet somebody and instantly? No, but I actually did have a very similar experience with Tony Valentino, same guy.
Yeah.
Because we knew each other. We went to high school together. Like, he was on the tech side in our theater club. I was on stage, and so we like were around each other, but we didn't hang out. And when we went into college, he was dating this girl that I was friends with, and she was just like, yeah, I think you guys would get along. Like, you should hang out. And I was like, all right, I'll go hang out. I went to like a party over at his place, and then like we spent like the next like 3 days just chilling, and like we did the same thing in the car. We were just like, did we just become best friends? Yeah, like hanging out, and like
That's where it fucking came from.
and so like we just I ended up like basically like moving into that place, like hanging out on the couch until the room cleared up, and like we lived together for a while. Like, yeah, so it wasn't as much as like when we met, we didn't necessarily like hit it off right away, but when we started hanging out, it was like we clicked.
Yeah. That's dope.
I would say, I guess, somewhat similar to like that, to what Rob kind of said, was like not necessarily like instantly, but as soon as I met like my friends that I'm still cool with now, we were hooping, and then we just started talking trash too, and it's kind of just like, yeah, I like these guys, man. They're like, hey, we like you too, man. We're gonna go somewhere else and hoop. Go to Del Taco, get something to eat, and then we just hung out like that whole day, and then we're still to this day. 20, almost 30 years later, we're still tight friends.
That's what's up.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I mean, it all came because of sports, because of basketball. Who wouldn't have basketball? So last question, man. This is a fun
This is a
question.
very good question.
Yeah. What would the domain expansion be for each member of the animation crew? Ice.
Not saying you don't do yourself, so you just do the
Damn
other
it! I
three
want to
minutes.
do myself.
No.
That's the best one I had.
Of course, Brennan.
That is the best one I had.
I mean,
still
I guess
doing
when
it.
we all get done, you can say
I'm
which
still
one.
doing mine. I don't give a fuck.
I guess I'll go down the line and start with Rob. Rob would be just like a fucking library. I feel like that's what it's like, a library. Like you just come in, it's just like a regular library, and you think it's a library, but then you open the book and it's a fucking punch to the face. Like you just can't get out of
Black
it.
belt punch.
Get lost in the
just
stats.
you can't get out of it. And then like if anything, like you think you're getting out of it, but whatever the book you read is just it turns into that. Like you read a fucking Revolutionary War fucking book, it turns into that. And then just Rob just talking shit to you, and just you don't know, you just in the middle of the fucking Revolutionary War trying to figure out where's
I've memorized
where's
this
Rob?
book.
Right.
I read it before I went to bed last night.
Exactly. And I feel this Keenan's domain expansion would just be like a fucking web of his hair. It's just like a beard. Like you're just caught in the fucking, and you're trying to like get out of it, and he's like, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? And it just keeps growing and growing. It's like a spider web almost, and he just comes fucking in the spider form, just like
The spider
I
form.
hate spiders.
It sounds like some Demon Slayer shit.
yeah, like where are you going?
It does.
You're here. And then fucking
Disrespect coming. Here it is. Go ahead, disrespect me.
it would just be like when I see his domain expansion, I just see like y'all remember in the Dark Knight where fucking the Joker just had all this fucking money just stacked up to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like it just be just that though. No, actually what your domain would be is a fucking now that I think about it, the DuckTales dude.
Oh,
Just fucking in the pool with
yeah.
Buddy.
Scrooge
That
McDuck.
shit-
the money pool.
Yeah,
Scrooge
and just
McDuck.
that, and then it's
Yeah.
just like he was like, "Oh, you thought that was your money," and then it just fucking destroys your ass and turns you into
Damn.
like you just having fun swimming in the money. And it's like, "Oh, this is my fucking shit." Yeah,
I
and
would
it's
be
like,
so happy if my bank account reflected the belief of my bank account.
and then it's like, "That's not your money. That's my money, bitch." And then it just like fucking suffocates them, and they drown in golden coins.
Wow.
Jesus.
Brennan, since you want to give your own, go ahead, man.
I don't even want to give mine anymore. He changed the whole way I looked at the way we're doing this. All right, I'll go with it. I'd say Rob's would. I say Rob's domain expansion would be the domain expansion of memory. So what would happen with Rob is that he would be able to go right into your like any of your memories and be able to bring you right to that. And like when you're there, like
That'd be fun.
like his hit is a mental hit. You know what I'm saying? So he can erase who you are. You know what I'm saying? He can erase your memories and erase who you are because he can remember all of it. And now he knows you better than you know yourself.
I'll take that. Full day.
I think
That's terrifying.
Isis would be the ability to like put everything into like hyper slow motion because he's so fast. You know what I'm saying? So like when you roll into his domain, it's just like you're there and you're like, I'm fine. I'm about to whoop Isis' ass. Like where did he go? And he's moving like a Barry Gordon or whatever his name is.
Barry Allen.
Barry Allen.
Barry
Thank
Allen,
you. Barry Allen. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing in the Speed Force kind of thing where it's just like, yeah, I mean, doesn't really matter what you think you're gonna do. Like I already hit you 82 times. You've actually been dead for the last 3 minutes. You just haven't realized it yet.
Damn,
'cause
you got
haven't
a
caught up to
death
it.
coming in 3 minutes. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
And Ice, I think, would be more of a like self-conscious thing where he would pick apart.
You mean Keenan?
Yeah,
Keenan, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Keenan.
I was like, I thought
Thank
you
you.
said-
So Keenan would be more of a self-conscious thing, where it's like he would be able to like put you in his domain of expansion. It would be like a dark void, but all you would be able to feel and see is like the things that you are self-conscious about, and he would just fucking destroy you on them because he's a comic that could do that, and he does it to himself on stage.
You
know what
calling
I'm
him
saying?
it, basically?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's like Keenan destroys, like, Keenan goes after his own ego on stage, which is one of the things, like, you know, like, he'll be like, yo, like, I've had women on me to, you know, they was the man last night, you know, kind of thing. Like, he'll do that. And so he'll do that to himself. So imagine what he'll do to you.
He's 15
In his
pounds
own
stronger
domain.
now. That ego is through the roof right now.
It's like his beard's shining.
Yeah, his ego defecation, no longer a thing.
Well, I mean, but I will say that will be his domain, though. It's like he
Yeah.
puts you there, and it's about your ego at that point.
Yeah.
And he's going to destroy you through your own ego.
I'm gonna go next. 'Cause I feel like Rob's gonna have something very like
I
you
know,
know
Rob's
intricate.
gonna-
So
I
I'm
don't
not-
even know if
No,
that's
wait,
true.
so, Brennan, what was your domain? I want to hear what you thought your domain would be.
Yeah.
I'll do it at the end.
Okay.
All right.
So for let's go down the line. Rob's would be just probably his lips, right? And it would just be him talking and just saying he's reading you your whole life from when you were born. He's just going through and he has it all memorized. And he's like, "Well, I didn't remember that shit." Like, I remember that shit. You just like, "Stop it!" And you just eventually break your own neck. So
Just to hear it.
Damn.
I think the only person that would survive that is Brennan. Like, oh yeah, I love this part. Like,
Brandon definitely will. Like, oh, yeah. No, I need you to say that part again, Rob,
Right.
please. That was
Rewind.
when I was killing it.
until they get to that middle school.
Yeah, I feel Brennan. I guess me and Brennan had some similar ones somewhat, but mine for Brennan was like him just talking just mad shit. Like you're just locked in,
And
and
the
he just goes, and it's just endless amount of shit talking nonstop. And his
It's
domain,
the hand just
Yeah.
doing
the
this.
difference between his and my domain was that he's gonna be playing you in something that he's good at. So whether it's Smash Brothers, so he's gonna be beating you with Smash Brothers, and you can't stop playing. You're like, I want to stop playing. Nah, your hands are touching the controllers, bitch. Now I'm gonna just keep smacking you up and down. That's Brendan's domain, and then Ice's. I just had Ice, just his legs. That's it. It's no upper half, and he's just donkey kicking the shit out of you until your
Donkey
body
kicking.
turns into mashed potatoes. That is it. If you've seen Ice's legs, you would know you don't want that type of
You
problem.
don't want these fucking problems. You don't want these fucking problems.
Rob.
I don't feel like mine are gonna be a deep, like you said, especially like if you look at my notes. But no, for Brennan actually, because this is just the order I did it. For Brennan, I actually have it as like an underwater thing because like he's so into whales. Obviously, he's got the Krillin shirt. So I'm
True.
figuring he
Good one.
brings you into underwater world, like you're drowning in it, and he's just like hitting you with all the whale
I'll be
facts.
dead fast. Oh, I can't swim. Oh.
Yeah, so
I do love whales.
he does love whales. Keenan, I mean, similar thing to a lot of people are saying. Obviously, comedian, like you control a crowd. So I was thinking it's like you put somebody up on stage, but there's like an audience there, but you're able to like kind of like direct the audience, and like you can make the person like the object of ridicule, and like you're breaking them down, and like you can even like turn them into like a mob or something. So like all about like, you know, audience control. And then Ice, it's a trash world, man. Like it's just a world of trash. But you look around and it's all the things that you like and care about, and you're like, oh no, this is trash. And you're just like, I know, but I know it isn't. I know it isn't. And he's just like, no, but here's why it's trash. And it just breaks you down.
That's my favorite.
It just breaks you down.
Everybody's anything said. That was my favorite.
So that's
It's
what
a
I
trash
think.
world.
Cameron literally clapped for that.
So that's the end of the question portion of the show, man. Let us know in the comment section what you guys' domains would be, or what you think our domains are. I actually want
That'd
to
be
know.
fun.
That's a pretty good one. So let's now get to our likes and dislikes and our
What
overall
was your
score.
domain?
Oh yeah.
Where
Oh, it was
my
actually
bad.
really similar to what you gave to Keenan's. I say it'd be more like a Simon Cowell thing, where it's like I break down what you think you should have been doing with your life, or like it's like, are you
Yeah.
like, do you measure
Shit.
up? Do you measure up to the standard of who you were supposed to
tough.
be? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like me just sitting there like, no, let me explain to you exactly all the things that you fucked up on. You know, and it's just like everyone was like, bah, 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 like, oh.
Did you guys think
you
of
think you
domains for
had-
yourselves?
Nah, I didn't.
No,
I didn't
no.
either, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course you did. Of course you fucking did.
You didn't
All
say
right.
not to. I mean,
Yeah, I did.
I
You
asked
did.
Cam, of all these domains that we said, who do you think would be the most accurate? Like, I mean, you clap for Rob, so that's probably.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so that's the end of the question portion of the show. Likes, dislikes, and overall scores. Let's go Ice first.
What I didn't like, I mean, they did a little better job of it. It's just the heavy explanations. That's that giving everybody the backstory, that very Demon Slayer-esque, like everybody has a story. Everybody in this matters. I didn't like that too much. I think everybody got active. That's what I liked about it. They didn't pull any punches with what they're doing. Even though they had to pull punches, they didn't pull punches. I think the silliness of both Yuji and Gojo and how both of them are beasts, but it's not to the like it's Goku 2.0, but it's really 2.0 in the sense of like Gojo is aware. Goku has no awareness of what's going on, and he's just aloof. Like Gojo gets what's going on. He's part of it. He gets it, but he just chooses to handle it in a silly way, and I like that. And he's just a dog. Yeah, just seeing everybody get active, that was really my favorite part. And just I was like, I just hope that they didn't drag Yuri coming back. Like, I hope they just didn't drag that throughout the season. So I'm happy he came back quick. He did his 2 months and came back with even better. And then overall, I enjoyed this. The first 2 episodes was a little bit whatever, but those back 2 really made up for it. Probably my favorite stretch of episodes so far because of 4 previous to this. I was just, man, those were terrible to get through. But these 4 were much better. Overall, 6,900.
Brennan?
6,900. The part I probably disliked the most was, and it's not a big dislike, it's just something that I know that is my preference when it comes to like big groups of people getting after each other. Is I like it more when they intercut them instead of just say like we sat on the robot, the panda fight just straight up and watched the whole thing happen, and now they're like, okay, cool, let's move on to the next fight. I like it more when it's like there's breaks in each fight and they just cut to another one, or let a sword swipe, be a transition point to the next fight, and they all like happen at the same time and conclude at the same time. I like that because just like then you're just like you get so into something, oh shit, oh damn, I don't want to, and then it's just like okay, like it just keeps crescendoing, and I love that. But I still enjoyed what they did. Like the fight with the panda and the robot was incredible. That was an amazing fight.
Yeah.
They was really doing it.
Yeah.
So I already told you what my biggest like was earlier. It just was so funny to me. It's like they met and he was just like, I like tall women with big butts. My man was like, it was great. So I really enjoyed that. That was really funny. Overall, I really think that the show has maintained. It has really maintained that level of keeping me in it, keeping me wanting to see it. It's still extremely difficult for me not to be able to watch forward, to the point where like I was actually nervous when Rob was giving his recap today because I was like, did I watch too much?
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, like is he almost done? And then he did. I was like, okay, cool, I was good. But I had sent you my questions like the day after we recorded last week.
Yeah, I was like, you sent them early, bro.
No, I literally like that same day
Yeah.
I went home and just like I'm watching this shit right now.
Yeah.
Which might happen again today. So I'm really into this show. It's maintained. I think the last 2 times I gave 8,200 and 8,100. So I'm just gonna say 8,100 again because this show is absolutely fantastic.
Rob.
I feel like my dislikes are just really nitpicky. I thought the pacing for those last few episodes was a little wonky, just kind of what Brennan was saying, where we got that fight with Panda and Mechamaru there, but it felt like we didn't really see a whole lot of what anybody else was doing, which felt a little weird. And I feel like I don't still have a good idea of like, and I'm sure we'll see that, but like, I felt like it would have been nice to set up a little bit more like what some of the Kyoto students are capable of. Like that dude that keeps his eyes closed, like still don't, like he shoots arrows, but we don't really have any idea like what that dude's up to. We can see the other girl flies, but I mean, those are both third years and like we just don't really know what they're capable of at this point. That's me being a little nitpicky. Overall, I really enjoyed this stretch of episodes. Just kind of like Brennan was saying, I've enjoyed the show a lot. Actually to go against, I thought this took a little bit of a dip just because I really liked the storytelling of what they did with Junpei over those like 4 or 5 episodes. It felt like a little movie almost. And I thought that was an interesting arc to see. It just was like interesting to see those like characters kind of playing off of each other and building up towards that moment where you're just like, oh shit, they're going to have to fight each other. And this feels a little bit more straightforward, like, okay, school tournament, we've seen this before. And I mean, I like it. It just took a little bit of a dip for me. It's going to be a 7,800 for me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, favorite part, absolutely. When they cut back and Toto's just got like snot pouring down his face and tears. It's just like I thought that was so funny.
So funny.
For me, dislikes. I didn't really have really many dislikes. With these stretches of 4. I guess I'll go on my likes. My likes. I like the fact that the villains are silly too, man. Like I enjoyed that. I like when they came back after I forgot his name, but after he got the fight back, like he got beat up.
He got his ass.
He got his ass whooped. We got to see that part finally. He went back and was just in the little whatever pool or whatever jacuzzi. He was kind of like, man, like
You seem weak, bro. You good?
yeah.
You don't seem like yourself.
They're not too serious, which is like I like that. I like that the villain's kind of like, all right, we're a little loose here too. All right, we gotta get down to business, but you know,
I like that as well.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
That's
Because it's usually like if they come back after L, they get killed. Like
Right.
or it's
Yeah.
like, hey, you go out again and lose, you're fucking dead.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just villains normally have such a serious tone to them. And
Yeah.
these villains are very serious. They're
Yes.
terrifying. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like when they're around each other, just like, yeah, same team. Same
Exactly,
team.
and that's how I think it would be. If you around your people, you gonna have a little bit more fun. You know what I'm saying? Even if y'all the villains, like y'all be like, hey man, shut your poke ass up. They gonna play soccer with your head, whatever. You know, they gonna mess with you. That's just how it is. I liked a lot. I just like this freaking show, man. I'm with Brennan in the sense where like I wanna keep on watching, but I just know my memory's not gonna retain that information. I'm gonna have to rewatch it again, which I actually wouldn't mind. This show is just solid, bro. To me, it's not losing any ground. I'm keeping mine at a 7,900. I love, like you said, this show is great at keeping the fight scenes up and then just the silliness. And I appreciate the hell out of that. Like I said, anime doesn't make me laugh that much, but this makes me laugh.
Is this funnier than Mob?
I like this
No.
humor better than Mob.
I would say no too.
Mob is funnier, but this humor works for the show. Like where Mob is like, yo, this show was made to be a comedic anime. This show is not a comedic anime, but it's very funny. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like this show is really silly and fun. I feel like Mob necessarily to me isn't trying to be funny, but he's so dry that it just dry humor can either a real big hit or a real miss.
Even the premise of Mob Psycho is funny though. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole premise of that show is funny. Where the premise of this show is all very serious business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But Mob is just the whole show. I'm saying, not just himself. But Mob is just funny because Reagan is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh,
Reagan's funny
Oh
too.
my
I mean, like I
God.
said, for me, I've laughed more at this show. Maybe I think I might have had harder laughs in Mob,
Reagan, bro.
but
Yeah.
I laugh more.
tough to
I
beat.
laugh more consistently. Like with this show, I'm laughing all the freaking time.
Yo, so wait, who's seen season 2 of Mob Psycho?
Me.
Can
I
I
see
talk
the
about
majority
it?
of it, not all of it.
Ah, shit. Because all I would say is that fight with Reagan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's a
was
dog.
done. I was done. That's all I was say. There's a fight that Reagan is in, and it is one of the funniest things I've ever experienced in anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm keeping it a solid 7,900. I think this is one of the better animes that came out in the past few years, and I see why it's right now. Everybody keeps saying this show stays as good, and all the hype has been the hype so far.
Yeah,
like
this show is legit, man.
Yeah.
This is for
good
me.
show.
It's into my. It's easily into my top. Like it feels like it's gonna be in my top 5 when we're done with this. It really does.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I can't say top 5 when it's done. When it's
I've been
done.
speaking- I've been speaking on
need
shit
this-
early,
I
so-
just
You
need
do.
this show to break out of all this homage shit. Like I just need it to like be itself.
That's tough for me because every anime does that. Like you break down every anime. Every anime, there's
But
very,
they have
there's
their
very,
own
there's very
identity,
little.
though.
bro, there's very little originality with a lot of the animes that's been out after. Literally, honestly,
Since like the 80s, like to be
ever
honest.
since Dragon Ball Z, really. Like,
but they
if you
all
wanna be
have their
real-
own identity. Like My Hero is fucking Naruto 2.0, but it has its own identity to the point where My Hero fans can argue that it's not true, but they can argue that it's better than Naruto.
Yeah, My Hero's 5 seasons in though, so it's like that's
Yeah,
a-
Naruto has like how many episodes? Like
yeah,
800?
like you're comparing
785.
785
But I'm saying
to
that-
season one. Season one, from what I've seen so far,
Season 1 Naruto does not compare to this show. Like
It's
it
a
does not.
fact.
and
It's a
it's 50
faster
episodes
clip.
of that. And it had 50 episodes of Naruto for season 1 or some shit.
Doesn't
like that.
compare to the first
Yeah.
16 episodes.
Well, they're
of the show.
running on a. That's not even. Yeah, you don't even compare them because it's two different types of shows. Also,
But you're comparing them.
not types of shows. It's two different lengths. If you have, especially anime back then, they were getting fucking green lit for 50 episodes. Like that's just
lot of
like the
episodes.
big part, the big name animes. They were getting 50 episodes.
Yeah, I know, but
Jujutsu
even- but
Kaisen's
still-
not getting a 50 episode season.
For me, I
green
would say
light.
that the first season of Yu Yu Hakusho thus far was stronger than the first season of
Never in your
Naruto.
fucking life.
It
You're
is just in the
wild.
storytelling.
You're wild.
And the storytelling
It
part
is.
of it, yeah.
It
You're
is. I'm
wild.
not saying Naruto has 800 episodes is not as good as Yu Yu Hakusho, but I'm saying season one Yu Yu Hakusho is better than season 1 Naruto.
How many episodes is in Yu Yu Hakusho?
I'm
The
at like
first-
30.
There you go.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, it's like
we're already done with Yu Yu Hakusho with 30 episodes.
you just proved my point.
It's not Yu Yu Hakusho is not only 30 episodes long.
It's not 50.
Total?
Season 1.
Oh, season 1.
That's what I'm saying. Season
season
1,
one.
it was like 16 episodes or some shit. Like it wasn't
That's
that
even
much.
you proving my point even more.
It was like 29.
That they got
yeah.
it done though. Is what I'm saying. The first 16 versus first 16 is not even comparable. And I'm
Yeah.
already
That's-
halfway through the
that's true.
season. I'm
That's-
still just like not
That's
comparable.
different. That you just keep proving my point. If I have 50 episodes to prove something versus I have 30, my episode 16 is gonna be more far ahead in the first season because I
It's not
have
about
less
how far you
episodes
got. It's
to
about
work
the
with.
enjoyment of the ride, bro. It's not about the destination. It's about what the ride was like getting there.
No, if I have 50 episodes, that's our biggest gripe about all animes is the episode length.
They have too many episodes.
They have too many episodes.
Demon Slayer doesn't. My Hero Academia doesn't.
That's. Are you arguing against yourself or are you arguing against me? Because you keep proving my point right.
I don't see it, but okay.
Rob just said it.
It just said that there's more. Sounds like there's more episodes in Naruto than what the other seasons are for these other shows we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why more episodes means each episode is worse.
Because if you have more episodes, you have more ground that you have to cover. So you can't give the whole fucking full course meal in a short period of time. You have to do it over 30, 50 episodes versus 30.
Well, I don't know when, and we're going to wrap this up in a second, but I don't know when it came to the anime and Naruto's manga, how far away from they were from each other. But if Naruto was almost done manga-wise and it was putting out 50 episodes and it was still putting a bunch of that filler in there that wasn't even in the manga, then that's bullshit.
The
It's like
first-
you could still put all the highlight chunks in there.
25 episodes, season 1 Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah,
So-
see? Versus 50. That's half.
But what I'm saying is, it's like if it depends on if the manga and the anime weren't. If the manga wasn't caught up to the anime and the anime had to keep waiting, so I had to keep putting bullshit filler in there, then that's different.
They
But
did
if
that with Boruto and people hate it. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if the manga was like 600 issues or whatever ahead of the manga, they could still cut the bullshit and keep it to the best points of that to the manga. They could have did that. Now I don't know.
They
I
could
don't
have
know
put like 4 volumes of the manga into the one season.
exactly
Of the anime.
exactly
And
what
that
I'm
means that it
saying.
moves
And
faster.
I don't know how far away they were from each other. But if they were, then that's just some bullshit. That's just
Yeah.
57 episodes in season 1.
See? Prove.
no. I'm not saying
Yeah.
we have to figure out that point. Has to be figured out. If that's the case,
I actually don't know that. I know so the anime,
when
the
did the
manga
when
finished
did the
like.
manga come out? When did the manga come out? When did season 1 finish?
Of Naruto.
But
Yeah.
that's also too. You don't know what episodes are
Where
in
they
that manga,
finished
so
in
that's
the-
that's more stuff that he would have to do on the back end.
It's
Did you know
the-
Naruto and Yu Yu Hakusho came out around the same time?
No, what?
No,
So I'm looking at it right now.
Manga-wise?
They
The
could-
first season went from October 3rd of 2002 to November 5th, 2003. And I was looking at Yu Yu Hakusho and it said season 1 ended in 2003.
no,
No.
That's got to be like a
Yeah,
English
like
Yeah,
a
or something.
remastered or
Yeah,
something.
you're
Not even
You're right,
remastered.
you're right,
Remastered
you're
didn't come
right.
out yet.
Yeah,
because it came
yeah.
out in the early 90s.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yu Yu
You look at the-
Hakusho's
you
got
look at the
that
animation.
grainy.
Yeah, you can either look
Yeah.
at there because if that's the case, there's no fucking excuse for you Hakusho to look like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely not. Because Hunter came out
At the same time too. I know
Yeah.
we running for
We're
time.
running
That's not my biggest gripe. Is all of the great, even the,
Oh,
the
it's 92, 93. You're right.
right, the great animes that we've talked about now have found a way, even though they've paid homage to those who came before them. them, and they have heavy influences. All of them have broke away at some point, and Jujutsu Kaisen just hasn't done that for me.
Well, all right, just
Side note, just so you guys know, I was looking at the English air dates.
Yeah,
see,
gotcha.
Well, to
That
kill
makes
Ice's
sense.
argument, his argument doesn't make any sense either. It's still season 1. So until after season 1, then if this season 2 continues with what you're saying, then that's fair. We're only right now 16 episodes in.
True.
And 16 episodes in, I'm not going to judge them on that they didn't break away. They're still paying homage, and I feel like they're creating their own identity, to be honest. But I feel like they do have a couple of homages in there, which is fine in 16 episodes.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not the biggest detractor. I just want to see that until until it gets in the top 5 conversation. You gotta
I get that.
establish your own identity.
Got you with that. All right, guys. Let us know in the comment section. Answer the questions. We definitely want to know that domain expansion question. But answer all the questions in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in every week. As always, go ahead and drop your stuff, guys. Ice,
Ice.McGowan on everything.
At Brennan the Best.
Rob,
RV Danger on Instagram.
I'm Keenan Baker on everything. Animeshun podcast on everything. We back in the goddamn studio, y'all. I'm telling you, we love it. We back in the studio. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. Animeshun. We are out.
And so anime was solved forever.